Folks, lots of things getting into the news today. I'm happy to notice a lot of people going on about the earthquakes and some volcanoes. Well, there's a lot, and buoy centers. Well, we're taking a look here. We're going to start off at earthquakevolcanosdiscovery.com, and as we can see, we got two large ones right here at Easter Islands, really Easter Island regions, right here on the Ring of Fire. Okay, right up here we happen to have the Great Sitkin volcano. Up in Aleutian Islands here in Alaska. And there's a reason why I'm bringing attention to Sitka volcano and to these two earthquakes, and a lot of people are talking about this earthquake up here. It's going to find the path of least resistance. Now when we come over here to the National Buoy Center, we can see that right here, right near the Great Sitka volcano, we've got this buoy going off. Okay, when we tap in on it, we can actually kind of see it's coming over here, and boom, once again, we've got that heartbeat going on. Okay, this was actually another strike. This is our secondary strike, but it actually didn't register in red, which it should have. But I've shown you guys this where it has this little boom, and then another boom. That's like a pulse, a heartbeat. Okay, and when we scroll down, we can actually see it jumps way up. Now, granted, in fact, it goes off the page, so we don't really know how high it goes. But I would imagine it coming about here and then coming back down. In what I would imagine. And this is a 15-second ordeal. I mean, so this happened very quickly. So it really makes me wonder what happened here, where something boop jumps up like that and then comes down and then whoop jumps up again, and it's literally about the same exact angle. Well, let me show you. This is why a lot of these things are happening. It all ties back to the sun and watching solar weather. You guys can see here, we were in event mode since yesterday. This line right here is -10. Once we get below -6, we are in event. Okay, so yesterday we had an event. Boom, came down, struck. Well, when we have these events, now granted, it doesn't always happen right when we have the event, right when at the beginning of the strike. So we have what's called a rebound, okay, which is this right here. But first we're going to come over here. This is the Earth's geomagnetic field, okay? And when we get impacted, whoosh, like that, it puts pressure, which is why I show you guys the pressure side of it, of the geomagnetic little model where you show pressure on the back side, pressure on the front side from us being impacted. Okay, but during those impacts, what happens, as you can see, we've got all these ribbons and these lines. As it impacts, it breaks around and then comes back around in order to form here, boop, creating 0-point energy, and also pushes a fresh one up underneath. So that way the new out one becomes the most outer protecting shield. Okay, so this happens all the time. Now the thing you also have to understand is it's not just the impact itself, it's the rebound. So not only are we getting hit with that CME, you can see that whoop, things are moving. It's the same thing with our planet. Now granted, this is a funny gift that's meant to accentuate it quite a bit, but it's to give the idea. Okay, when we get hit, pretend like this is the Earth actually. Just pretend like this is the Earth. You see all that movement? Even though it's hard, we do know that we're not hard underneath, that there's liquid molten lava that our crust is sitting on. So with that being said, now is it completely perfect or not? No. However, but because of that, you've got the rebound. So when it rebounds is also when we're going to have effects. And those, unfortunately, do cause, well, goodness gracious, there we go, are going to cause earthquakes, especially along our tectonic plates. Path of least resistance is going to be right here, right along all these ridges, all along the cracks, even in here. I mean, we've seen earthquakes out here in the Atlantic Ocean. We've seen them all going on over here too. I mean, look at this. This is where stuff is happening. Now, granted, there's a lot of stuff going on over here in China and Russia. It's got to kind of make you wonder why. Like maybe this thing comes up here and we don't know about this one. But I'll digress from that. So something to keep in mind, folks. Whenever we get these impacts, so to speak, from coronal mass ejections, we're going to wind up having movement. And that's going to cause earthquakes and volcanoes to go off. Now, the one that does have me kind of going, is we know here's the Great Sitkin volcano. Well, we also happen to have a buoy going off just south of it. But nowhere else, no other buoys are going off, just south of it. Which is quite interesting. Don't you think? And the other thing that's quite interesting is we have these huge volcanoes over here at Easter Island. Oh, come on, catch up. Okay, now that it caught up, here we have this one is a 6.8. It was a 7.0 and they downgraded it. This one is a 5.6 and it was a 6.4. 6.4, I believe, or 6.3, and they downgraded it. Okay, now this happened. Look at this. South Pacific Ocean, Easter Island, and it happened to be, does this tell us how far deep it was? 10 kilometers deep. What do some of us know that is 10 kilometers deep? Now here's another one, South Pacific Ocean, New Zealand. But this one here, the 5.6, this is the other one. Again, 10 kilometers deep. What's going on at 10 kilometers deep, folks? Does anybody know? Does anybody happen to know what's underground 10 kilometers, which is kind of famous for? Domes. And that's why I don't think, and that's why I think, should I say rather, that we're not going to see any tsunami stations going off here. And they may not be going off over here. It's just a tsunami in event mode. Just let you know, hey, pay attention. You know, the tsunami event mode is happening up here, next to the volcano. So that's something for us to keep in mind too, folks. Eyes open, no fear, and remember that love is the only way forward. So the wolf out.